Tonight I'm harvesting beets. I'm a fairly new beet grower. This is probably only my second or third season growing beets, so I'm constantly testing different varieties and testing different growing methods. And so I thought I would bring you out here with my harvest to compare the different varieties that I tried this year. I'm going to be harvesting from 2 different beds with 2 different soil blends. This one right here was filled with Mel's Mix about 2 years ago. And that's from Mel Bartholomew's Square Foot Gardening Method, which is a blend of peat moss, vermiculite, and compost. And that's really done well for me so far with other crops. I'm curious to see how it does with the beets. And then I also have a bed back there, which I used organic potting soil in that, and it did not do great the first year, but then last year it did pretty well. And each year I have amended with compost on top. I'm kind of curious to see how they compare and see how the harvest goes this year. So the first row that I have is Bohan. I'm assuming that's how you say that. And I can't remember precisely why I bought those seeds. Oh, that's a little one the chickens can have. I think the chickens always know that I can give them a little treat when I'm harvesting. That's a good size. Those first ones were really small. It's a decent size there. You can definitely tell the ones that I didn't thin as well and they were closer to each other are a lot smaller than the ones that had ample space. So this is the harvest from the Bohan of the first bed. And I'm just gonna go ahead and harvest the same variety from this other bed. Now, one thing that I found was different when I did this raised bed soil test, which I have a podcast that explains all about these different soil blends and how they performed. I'll link that below. But I'm curious because the soil test showed that this bed had more alkaline soil, like upper 7s, I believe. And then the Mel's Mix, of course, had more of an acidic soil, having all that peat moss. So I'm curious to see how that will compare. So let's get started harvesting these. This is the harvest from the second bed. They look a little bit smaller, but it'll be interesting once we go weigh them how they'll compare because there are some good sized ones here. The next one I'm going to harvest is called Cylindra. I grew this last year, both in the spring and the fall, and I was okay with it. I grew it because it tends to have a longer root and it's better for canning, which I pickle my beets and I thought it would be very convenient. And I'm not quite sure how big they'll end up this year, but last year they didn't really blow me away. So this is kind of their last option. If they don't blow me away this year, I'm probably going to move on. But you can see they're definitely a longer beet than the other ones are. So, not that great of results from this. So, I think 3 strikes, you're out. I'm probably not gonna do this variety anymore, but I'll still be able to do some pickling of it. All right, let's see what the next one is. This is Detroit Dark Red. And this I grew last year and it was one of my top performers. So I have high hopes for this one. Let's see how it ends up doing. Some small ones already. That's a good size one. I do wonder how much being in the middle row, because I have 5 rows here, and these beds are 3 feet wide. I wonder how much being in the middle row affects them. I mean, you can see that from their leaves they got plenty of sun, but there might have been just a little bit too much competition. In the middle row. All right, so this is what we got of the Detroit Dark Red in this bed. I'm not super impressed compared to the other ones, but not bad. Let's see how they did in the other bed. Yeah, that's a good size one. Kind of hit and miss. Like I said, the ones that don't have a lot of competition are definitely bigger. So note to self, next time make sure to keep that one, to thin them a little better than I did this time. I direct seeded all of these into the garden probably early March, I believe, which is about a month before our average last frost date. And they germinated very quickly. In the fall though, when I plant fall beets last year, I started them indoors in the micro soil blocks, just because it is so hot here in Arkansas when we need to start sowing these in September, that I have had beets that I direct sowed in the garden sprout and then die of the heat because I wasn't able to keep it irrigated and the heat was just so intense. And so what I did last year was I started those seeds in the micro soil blocks, and then once I just had those the first two seed leaves, I transplanted them directly into my garden, and then they took off and they did really well, and I had a really good harvest that year. So I think for now, I'm just going to continue direct sowing in the spring and then starting indoors in the fall. Also interesting to note, last fall, I harvested my beets when I thought they were ready, but I kept some in the ground to see if they would survive the winter, and they did. In fact, we had 18 inches of snow, which is very uncommon, and we had very low temperatures, and the beets did fine. But as soon as it started warming up in the spring, they started to bolt, which is normal. But I was surprised that they actually made it through the winter like that. So in the future, I'll know that I can overwinter beets if I need to and use it throughout the season when I run out. Okay, Detroit Dark Red. Still a little bit disappointing. I really was hoping for more from these. Still not bad. I mean, these will pickle up quite nicely. These are still good for pickles, pickled beets, which is pretty much the only way that I eat them. And in comparing the two here, I almost think the one in the other bed did a little bit better, but I'll have to weigh them at the end and see. The next one will be Early Wonder. Okay, this was another one that did really well for me last year. It's also known as Early Wonder Tall Top. And I think I may have stolen a few of these already this year because I ran out of pickled beets and I needed some. So I think I've already robbed from these because I knew that they would come to harvest a little bit sooner. And I think that helps too in my climate because my climate is warmer. So I think that helps get them up to maturity before it gets too hot. And in other climates, beets probably could stay in the ground longer and just continue to grow bigger than this, but I know in the heat, I would be taking a chance of them bolting or something else. I just don't want to risk it. And also, since I pickle beets, the baby beets are perfect to pickle. They're a little cumbersome to peel, but they're perfect pickling beets. And what I do is I just roast my beets covered, and then the peels slip right off, and then I can pickle them after that. All right, so that's what we're looking at with the Early Wonder Tall Top. Let's look at the other bed. Last one is the best one. I'd say this would be pretty decent. I really am not telling a huge difference overall between the two beds. If there is any difference, I think it's pretty minuscule. And that soil test was done that first year after I did the first raised bed soil test. And since then, I've been amending with compost, and compost has a tendency to moderate the acidity and alkalinity. So it could be that these beds are just not that different now after a couple of years. So let's go ahead and finish up with the final one This one is Red Ace. This is a new variety for me. Another one that I wanted to try. And we'll see how it did. In case you're wondering, this is a volunteer sunflower. I had sunflowers planted last year and I figured it could coexist with these beets. So I'm just gonna let that sunflower stay. And let's go and check out the final ones. These aren't looking bad. I may not have thinned these as well. I can kind of already tell they're a little bit closer together than I would have liked. We are done. So the Red Ace just didn't perform as well as I thought it would. But again, I really don't think that I thinned these properly. So these, I may want to try these again just to see if I can get them to do any better. I think gardening in general is fun because we're always testing different things. There's no limit to how much we can try in our gardens and see what works and what doesn't. And sometimes we do come upon a variety that we just love and we want to continue to put in our garden. But overall, I think it's fun to just see what else is out there, see how things perform, and every year we can learn a little bit more. So I'm going to go and weigh these and be able to tell you which ones were the winners this year.